Welcome to Xtra presented by VEG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. Yes, I was singing. Yes, I was dancing. And yes, I was making my chest pop. I was doing all of the above. And no, I am not in energy conserving mode. Not anymore. Have I leveled up and rest? Not as much as I want, but it's okay. It is okay. Too much of a good thing is bad. It is. I am a believer in technology. I like that it makes life easier, less complicated, even though more complicated by making it less and so forth and such. However, there's some things that I'm just not going to follow or believe technology over my eyes and intuition. There's just some things that I'm not going to agree with and I'm not going to go along to get along. I'm just going to say, prove me wrong. Don't worry, it'll make sense at the end. Yeah, it will. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for giving me a shot. Even if it was by mistake, even if you came here and you don't know why you're here, you ended up here with a suggestion or what have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's everybody giving you a flea clap. That's everybody saying, you belong. You're one of us. Just do it again and do it again. And next thing you know, you will become a reg. Shout out to my regs. This feels like every single day, but it's not every single day. It just feels that way. Why? Because we got this special unique bond. Sharing is caring, but you should not share everything. We don't know what the call is, but one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 1 century, 1 decade, 1 millennia, 1 insert time period, because this is a fill in the blank. Insert time period, whatever you decide, it will be what it is. It will be what we called it and said retroactively, rewriting history and all of the above. We don't know what to call it. We just know how it feels. We know what it is when we see it. And that's how it is. Non-verbal communicating peeps. I do not have to give you a shout out, but I just want to give you a shout out because everybody else may have forgotten about you, but not me. I'm just reminding, friendly reminder. This is the level that you need to get up to. Non-verbal communication. Level up, level up. I am definitely a believer in technology. And I'm not going to even sort of drag this one out. I'm just going to go ahead and say I believe in GPS. I really, really do. I do come from an age, and I am of an age where you just had to go by trial and error to just figure out where to go or how you need to get somewhere. And even then, it may or may not, work out for your benefit. Although maps were and are available, it's the kind that you had to take with you. It's the kind that was big, or it was the kind that was foldy, and after folding it so much, it would eventually not be any good anymore because it would be holy. And I'm not talking about religion. Or it just wouldn't last the test of time. And the big ones are the big ones. And it's kind of hard to drive and look at a map, or you pull off to a side, you look at a map and you got to try to use the wind, the air, the water, and every other communication or every other landmarks or every other artifacts to try to figure out what street you actually on. I remember those days. Do I miss them? Somewhat. It built character. It made you who you were today. But you can say that with just about anything. Will I go back in time and say, let's keep it that way? Nah, I'm okay. If I want that kind of adventure, if I want that kind of chaos, if I want that kind of mystery, I just pop on a film. I just watch a movie. I just create something to that nature, to that notion. It's not something that I would purposely would want to relive and redo again. Mulligan, no thank you. Don't know who that is. Do not care. How, eh, eh, eh. However, bird like voice. However, just because I don't want to go back, just because it's not something I want to do, doesn't necessarily mean I can't critique, doesn't necessarily mean I can't point out the flaws, doesn't necessarily mean I can't say what's wrong. See something, say something, see something, say something. And I must say, sometime my GPS system, depending on where it's coming from, whether it's my telephone or my car or pad that's I and what have you, it's not necessarily correct all the time. It's not necessarily giving me the best directions all the time. And I just have to go with my intuition. I just have to go with my gut feeling. I just have to go what makes sense to me in the moment. And I'm at that point now. I'm not one of those early adopters where I would just follow the GPS off into a lake, a river, a cliff, somewhere you shouldn't be, or somewhere you should be. I wasn't one of those. One, let's just say I couldn't afford it. And two, I have a little bit more common sense than that. Although not a lot, but just a little bit more common sense than that. And some of that common sense has been tested as of late, where I put in coordinates, I put in somewhere I want to go, and I know right off the bat that the system is giving me a longer way to go. Like, for example, I wanted to go somewhere instead of going right, which I thought would be quicker and shorter, it wanted me to go left. And see, the thing about going left, I can eventually end up where I want to go in the long run. But going left means I have to go through so many stop signs, stop sign after stop sign after stop sign after stop sign after stop sign. But if I go right, all I have to do is go through two, three lights. Really two, but the third one, it's always on. It's always giving me the go. So you're just gonna go anyway. So instead of going through three lights, it want me to go through about 6 to 8 stop signs, and it's saying or it's communicating or attempting to convince me that stopping at a stop sign 8 to 6 times is more efficient and quicker than going through a stoplight. Three of them. Even if one was on red or two was on red, it would still be shorter time frame than going through all of those stop signs, because at a stop sign you gotta make a complete stop. You gotta stop and count to 10 and then go. You can't slow down and say, hey, I'm stopping, this counts as a stop, I am completely stopped. In my mind, yeah, I am. In reality, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna roll through this because the attempt was there, the feeling was there, the action was not complete, but the attempt can get me through. Then I can understand. All right, GPS, that's what you think of me as a human? That's what you think of me as a person. One who's going to irk the system. One who is going to create a system that works for me so I can make sure that you right instead of doing the right thing, which would be making me right. And I thought about it. And I actually did it both ways a couple of times to try to figure out which way was correct and which way was best and which way works for me. And I just came to the conclusion, and it's non-biased, non-bias, and it's not confirmation either. And you can throw that in front of bias if you need to. But if you know, you know. If you know, you know. I did it. I tried it. And going through those stop signs actually took me a little bit more time. Because even if I did slow up and didn't come to a complete stop, if somebody else was in one of the stop signs, I had to. If not, it would have been a T-bone factory. And I ain't trying to eat meat like that. I don't want them calories. I don't want that beef. Assuming the T-bone was coming from. You get it? Anyway, that's too much. That's too much. That one's not going to hit. That one's going to fall flat. So I'm just going to let that one go. Go ahead and look at the shiny device. Poof. Memory gone. Go ahead and look at the shiny device again. Poof. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. The stop signs. Going through the stop signs took me longer than actually stopping at two lights and then completing the process and then getting to where I need to go. And this was a GPS suggestion saying, hey, go this way because it is quicker and more efficient. But my mind and experience is telling me something else. Unless you know something that I don't know. And there's sometimes that it does know something that I don't know. It ain't all bad. It's not all bad. And I got another example. Look at this. Two examples in one sitting. Who would have thought that a new year, new me, and this ain't even a revolution or a resolution or a revolt for that matter. This just came natural. And no, I'm not standing up. No, I don't need any flea claps. And no, I am definitely not humble bragging. You know, you would know. But there is a time where they actually did know something that I didn't know. And my gut feeling and intuition, which is 100% correct 100% of the time, just told me one day, follow this because they know something. And then my eyes looked and saw and was like, yeah, I can confirm that. So you might as well just follow the GPS system. And normally it would have me make one exit, but it was suggesting me to bypass that exit and make another exit. I assume it had something to do with all the cars that was backed up on the exit at a complete stop when I could have just went to another exit when I just went or could have went and basically end up going to another exit that was right by that one or right past that one. And lo and behold, there wasn't any cars stopped. Lo and behold, there wasn't any cars really. And I could have just move along with the move along. And that's what I did. And I said to myself, but don't worry, this wasn't out loud. No one's around, not even my imaginary friend at the time. In fact, haven't seen him in a long, long time. I probably should check on him. I probably should check on him. But I said to myself, of course not out loud, that see, GPS got it right. My eyes verified. And intuition told my eyes and all that stuff to verify. And it worked out right. So it's not always wrong 90, 80% of the time, but there's sometimes where it's just wrong. Sometimes it just sends you for a loop-de-loop. And I do have some occasions for that. I really, really do. But this ain't the time. This ain't the place because this wasn't the driving variety. This was the walking kind, like giving me directions where to walk. And turned out it just had me going in circles, like literally circles, but not the circles that think about, the circles where you just spinning yourself around. It's like, wee, this is fun. Or not the circus where you running around chasing your imaginary tail saying that I'm going to catch you one day. You just betcha. Or you better just wait. Now it's just had me going in circles where I was doing huge loop-de-loops. And I guess you could say more squares, like blocks upon blocks. But circles sound better when and circles feel right. It feel right. That's a different time for a different day. I just wanted to give GPS its credit. And I also want to make sure that GPS stay in check and don't get too caught up on itself, because there's sometimes where you just ain't right. There's sometimes where it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm not going to follow you blindly. My loyalty isn't with you. My loyalty is with efficiency, being right most of the time. That's where it lies. That's where it's at. That's what I'm going to follow. That is the path that I am on. Either you with me or you watch me, or you watch me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Be sure to check out the website, the new and improved website, because I'm going to keep saying it because it's always new and it's always improved. You should check it out and make me out of a truth teller, because I always want to remain to be a truth teller. Always. Because the opposite can't be, it can't be. Check out the new and improved website at extravdgsports.com. That is XtraVDGSports.com. That's YouTube as well. XtraVDG. That is XtraVDG. Like, subscribe, share. Everything is there. Like, subscribe, share. Everything is there. Comment if you may, comment if you must. We might clap back. We might. And I'm not talking about the song. Noob that made it this far. Noobs that gave me a couple of seconds. Noobs that thought about it, but didn't make the jump, didn't make the leap. It's okay. You thought about it. I was on your brain. I was on your mind. You gave me a little time. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Regs, I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm just going to keep saying it until let's just say I don't do it and I actually do what you want me to do. But I'm just going to say nope, and I'm out. So peace.